15 facts about U.S. presidents. Thank you for 100 subscribers. John Tyler has a grandson that is still alive today. Harrison Ruffin Tyler was born in 1928 and is still alive today. Grover Cleveland is the only president to get married in office. He married Clara Cleveland in 1886 during his first term as president. Joe Biden is the oldest president to be elected at 78 years old. He was born in 1942, being older than both Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump at the start of their presidencies. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the only president to serve more than 2 terms. He had 3 full terms from 1932 to 1940 and died in his second term that started in 1944. Richard Nixon was the only president to resign. After the Watergate scandal, he resigned as president and gave the office to Vice President Gerald Ford. William Henry Harrison had the shortest term because he died after a month in office. He had the longest inaugural speech, and the weather was super cold, so that probably impacted his life. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson died on the same day, which was coincidentally the 50th anniversary of the USA. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were practically frenemies, but at the end of their life, they started writing letters to each other, which made their friendship again until their death. John Adams' last words were, "Thomas Jefferson survives," but Thomas Jefferson had died a few hours before. Jimmy Carter is the longest living president, and as of June 2024, he is 99 years old. He was born in 1924, and it has been about 40 years since he was president. William Henry Harrison and Benjamin Harrison are the only grandfather-grandson presidents. However, their presidencies were separated by 13 presidents. William Howard Taft was the only president to also serve in the Supreme Court. Being in the Supreme Court was actually one of William Howard Taft's dream jobs. Abigail Adams, the wife of John Adams, was the first second lady and the second first lady. That's a tongue twister. Chester Arthur had a big pants collection. He had about 80 pairs of pants, making his collection the biggest pants collection of every president. Martin Van Buren was the first president to be born in the independent United States. He was born in Kinderhook, New York in 1782, after the country got its independence. Gerald Ford was not elected as president or vice president. He became president after Richard Nixon's resignation and vice president after Vice President Spiro Agnew's resignation. Barack Obama was the first African-American president. He was the 44th president, and most of you who are watching this video were probably alive during his presidency. James Madison was the shortest president at 5 feet 4 inches. Meanwhile, the tallest president was Abraham Lincoln.